Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Chassidus in the morning. 15 minutes to change our lives. Kuntres, finishing up Parak Daled of Maimer Zayin. We're going to start off by giving tzedakah because Gedolei tzedakah shmekaras v'geula, and we should have in mind all the soldiers and everyone good, and all of the hostages should be healthy and safe and should come back very quickly. And just give me 1 second. And yeah, and so we're going to daven in the Zchus of our learning, especially for all the soldiers and Yosef Yitzchak ben Simcha, and for all the hostages, and specifically Rochel bas Felena, that should be healthy and safe, and Mitzvah Hashem come back very soon. Okay. So yeah, so yesterday we started talking about an Inyan of Tshuva, that basically Hashem, like to do the mitzvahs, you also have to have the Tshuva aspect of it. You can't just sit there. When we said we gave the marshal, you can't just sit there and just be rough with someone and then say, oh, let's continue going on as if nothing happened. Something happened. If we did something wrong, we got to run off for it. And of course, it's not about making yourself feel bad. It's like I told that Bachar when we were bringing on the way to the oil, all the way back, that he said to me on the way there, we talked about and it should be Simcha and everything should be good and then just move on and don't get caught up. So he said to me on the way back, he said, I guess he was foraying in his head about what we talked about. He said, what about like, Shoshana, you have to be serious, you have to, Averis. So I said to him, think about it. Imagine, do you have someone that you really, really respect? And he's like, very respect. I said, imagine you did something wrong against him. How would you feel? And he was like, whoa. It's good. And what I think I was trying to show it, like what he was hopefully getting, was we have to recognize our relationship with Hashem. Before you can do tshuva, you have to have a relationship. Meaning, it's like when you get kids to say sorry, they don't really mean sorry. They don't care about you, and they just want to do whatever they want to do. So they might say sorry, but they have to. So too with us and Hashem. When we say sorry, the real avodah is not the sorry, and this is Rochel in life. The avodah of sorry when you do something wrong is not the words of sorry. It's the kavana behind it. It's what's going on behind it. And this is what we're talking about here. Because without that, it's not, oh, I'm sorry, can I go get my toy now? That's essentially the idea of tshuva. So page 127. If we don't have the tshuva, so then when you do the Torah mitzvahs, it's not mamshech properly. Meaning, and it's so simple when you think about it in terms of relationship. If you're in a relationship with someone and you did something wrong and you don't do tshuva for it, you don't say sorry, everything that you do, sort of, it's lacking. It's not true. You do nice things. You go you make breakfast for them. It's not the same if you didn't do tshuva first. Because there's that separation in the relationship. Like it is a Bereishis Chachma, like it says, Bereishis Chachma, Vezeh l'sheinu, and that's what it says. It's Mishahu Malech Misirchein Tzoyas Avonos, someone who's full of dirt from their sins, stains from their sins. Ein Teirasei Nachas l'Borei. His Torah is not pleasing to his Creator. And the reason is Kibesek HaTorah. When you're learning Torah, Ha'adam Meishech Shechina love, you bring down the Shechina onto you when you're learning Torah. It's another beautiful foraying. When you learn Torah, Hashem is there with you. So Naki Mechet, if you're Naki Mechet, so if you're clean from sin, meaning you don't have anything that's in the way of the relationship, Matzah Shechina, Kisei Meishav. So therefore, the Shechina, Hashem's divine presence, is a place to go. He wants to come hang out with us. But When a person is dirty with the stains of their sins, the Torah doesn't dwell with him. Because the Torah and the Shechina can't, there's nowhere to sit. Meaning, and this is again using the martial of the relationship. Well, Ad Kan Lashon, this is the language of the Reish Chachman. And again, using the martial relationship in a real relationship, especially like a spouse, if there's something between you, doesn't, it needs to be dealt with. And that's why it's very important. One of the things people talk about, it's very important to go to bed dealt with everything. Because if you don't, then you have these stains sitting there. And as much as you move past it, but you don't really. And the best thing, the healthiest thing is do tshuva. And this is the idea of the tshuva. Tshuva is like we're saying here, is making sure you're clean from all the averos. You're good with Hashem. Before you do Torah mitzvahs, you're good with Hashem. And making sure to do that. And meaning is very simple. You do something wrong. So you have to, of course, you have to be in a yeshiva das, a healthy place. But it's about saying, Hashem, I'm sorry, and really meaning it. Not I'm sorry because I don't want to get in trouble, I don't want to get punished. Sorry because I care about you. And working on the caring about Hashem and then saying sorry, that cleans it up. And then you can go and then all your Torah mitzvahs are very good. And being, if you do the averos, you don't do the tshuva. So you're not a vessel for the light, for God's energy. Hine, move on. So it's understood that al yedei limun Torah kiyum mitzvah is a loy tshuva mischila, without the tshuva before the Torah mitzvahs. Harei einay mamshich hagili l'mayla gamkein. So not just doesn't come down here because there's no real place for it, but it can also go up and elevate the higher worlds. Or someone that gives themselves over to the klippa, they themselves receive from it. As explained at length in the Zohar. Aleph base. Hashem should guide us from these things. Yitin belibeinu la'avdei be'emes, give it into our hearts to serve Hashem with truth. Uvesamim tamid kol yamim, and we should serve Him tamim, pure, truthfully, consistently, all days of our life. Meaning in simple sense, if we just focus on making sure we're not doing anything wrong and we're just doing the right thing, we're good. We don't have to worry about all these little issues. All these issues He's saying shouldn't have to exist within our lives. Kitzur. Call Yisrael mitzad nishmasam, all the Jewish people, because of where the soul comes from. Mitzad kiyum Torah v'mitzvahs, because of our fulfilling Torah mitzvahs. Hey, mipnus ritzeina elyon, come from the inner desire of Hashem. Ubechet oy, that's where we come from. That's how it is. And Hashem is giving us in the desire. We're in a good relationship with Hashem. But when we sin and when we ruin the relationship, not totally, of course. We add an additional ray from Hashem's inner desire, and even though it's going to the wrong place, we still take the first portion because ultimately Hashem wants us to be there. So even if you go to the banquet and you go to the kitchen to get food, you're going to get the first, but you shouldn't be in the kitchen trying to get food. You should be sitting by your table, and the way should be coming to you, giving to you. I have a nif seconds, but it doesn't last. It's not going to keep on going this way. Because people are like, what are you doing here? It doesn't make any sense. Something's wrong here. And you get out of the kitchen. Imagine everyone in the banquet trying to go to the kitchen and get food. The Kredim she'esem tshuva, and before we do tshuva, hine gam yatzeh mitzvah shaloi. Even when we do Torah mitzvahs, ein nachas lamayla, it's not pleasurable by Hashem, like we explained before in the relationship, without dealing with ongoing issues in the relationship. The good things you do really lack. The husband was not nice to his wife and he didn't say sorry properly or at all, and then he comes there, showers with flowers. You can imagine how much the flowers aren't going to really do their job. Whereas if the husband did something wrong and then he did tshuva and he said sorry in a meaningful way, and his wife felt it and went back on good terms, and then he buy the flowers would be extra special. Yeah, therefore there's no pleasure above Torah mitzvahs. And therefore we're not able to bring down a revelation of Hashem's light, which is the dir b'tachtonim, which is what we're trying to do over here. Someone gives themselves over to the Sitra Achra and gives in. Even the Sitra Achra avenged itself from him. Meaning, you can't come and say in the relationship, you can't come and say, you know what? Well, I'll leave it. I don't want to deal with it, and just keep on going. It doesn't work. It's going to come to bite you back. I've heard plenty of stories of people married for many years, and things that the spouse didn't say sorry for or didn't clean up, still with them. Doesn't go away. And this is a challenge because it's hard. It's not always easy. And so doing tshuva is being honest and being open and being comfortable, to be able to go in that place and say, yeah, I was wrong. I should have done better, or whatever that is. And it's easy just to try to avoid it. But if you avoid it, it doesn't go away. That's really the message in life. In life, avoidance, a long-term solution, doesn't help. Maimer Ches. We'll start Maimer Ches today. Okay. Maimer Ches, Parak Aleph, page 129. We're going to talk about this, more about this clip and how it receives. All that we talked about in the fifth Maimer. That in order that should satiate the thirsty with the sated sfais, and we're going to discuss what does mean sfais. That's what we talked about back then. Meaning shal yedei shesfiras hamalchus, through the sphere, through the attribute of malchus, ragla yerdes, it goes down to the low three worlds. Hine mechaber rava. So we said it connects, it joins the rava shehia sitra acha, the thirsty, the satiated, which we said is a sitra acha, im hatzmeya, with the thirsty, which is bechinas malchus. Yeah, like we said before, you have the sitra acha connecting itself with malchus. The kabel tesefes chayus b'kedusha, to receive additional life in kedusha, and that's what we said over there. That's why malchus doesn't want to come down, and always has this thirst to go back up. First, we said for two reasons. One, it goes back up because it wants to be where its source is, and next to Hashem. And the other one is doesn't like coming down because when it comes down, suddenly sitra acha is taken from it. He doesn't want that. This is according to Rashi that we said that they connect. That sfais means connection. The fi perush haradak, and according to the radak which we talked about over there, that he mefarish lashon ribui, that sfais means addition. So ma'u inyan shaharava mar be'oid al b'chinas smeh. So what is this that the sated at the klippa adds onto the thirsty, onto malchus, onto the nefesh lekis? So what does that mean? But the idea is like this: Tehine yadua sheinikas achitzenim he al beis efanim. Chitzenius, the external part, the klippa, the things that aren't meant to be, that aren't part of the banquet, how do they receive? So there's two ways. Or they receive from the externality part, just like in the banquet, and from the kitchen, the leftovers. The bechinas chitzenius akelim de malchus, which in terms is many contractions and the external parts of malchus. Even a base, and the second way, who shemekablim bechinas hamakif. So hamakif el, and they get from the higher makif, which is the level that surrounds, doesn't even internalize within the walls. This is also the external parts of makif. So it receives from the external. Again, it's not getting from the inner desire. It's getting from the external, from the leftovers. But is the leftovers from malchus, or the leftovers from the level of makif, which is a much higher level? To explain more of that, we have to come and join back tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining, and everyone should have an amazing day.